Hey everybody, Prepper Nurse 1 here. Let's actually give this a minute because you probably can't hear me. So give it just a second here. Okay, can you guys hear me okay? Can everybody hear me? All right, cool. All right, so welcome. I know it's like 15 seconds. They throw a commercial on you guys when we first get going. So I wanted to make sure that we're through that part because I don't want to be talking and you're not hearing what I have to say. It'd be terrible. It'd be a terrible thing. I'm in a goofy mood tonight. I'm just warning you ahead of time. I'm in a very goofy mood. So just putting that out there. So if I get a little silly, because there's something that happened, it's happening right now that is not acceptable. Before we get into everything else, I'm going to talk about this really quickly. This is not acceptable. Okay, so we had rain pretty much all day long today, right? And so I've had the wood stove going, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to get another load of wood, get it in here. And I open up my front door, and I got an inch of snow on the ground. And I'm like, no, it's not acceptable. Yeah, but right now we got an inch of snow on the ground right now, and it is snowing. So yeah, not a good thing. Not a good thing at all. So not happy about that. We had the light sprinkly snow the other day, but this is there. It's staying. It's on the ground. I mean, it's going to warm up. So it's probably, I think we're supposed to get like 2 inches, but I'm like, not yet. I'm not ready for it yet, but all right. So if we have any interruptions in the stream, I just will let you know that I will get right back on as soon as I possibly can. So I just want to talk, let you guys know that really, really quickly first. And then also, anyway, I'll get right back on as soon as I can if there's any problem. Okay, just so you know, hopefully we can get through the stream with no interruptions and everything's going to be great. But again, you never know. Okay. I also want to remind everybody that this is a very family-friendly oriented channel. So I would ask you to please be decent in the chat. No racism, no nastiness. If you choose not to do that and you decide to be nasty, those awesome people that you see lit up in blue will boot you out of here because we're not going to tolerate it. Okay. So just be decent. Be kind to each other. It's not unnecessary stuff. It's not going to be tolerated. So that being said, we're going to be talking about, first of all, we're going to talk about Europe. We're going to actually talk about China. We're going to talk about the U.S. We're going to talk about India, okay? And something doesn't add up, and I will discuss that in a little bit. But anyway, before we get into this tonight, I wanted to say this to you like as a disclaimer ahead of time. Now, anybody that has been watching my streams or watching my channel, I've said several times I don't wear a mask. I don't want you to think because I say I don't wear a mask that you should say, well, because Ed doesn't wear a mask, I'm not wearing a mask. You make your own call for your own individual self. I just wanted to put that out there. The CDC has their guidelines, what they say that we should be doing. It has changed a million times. What I encourage you all to do is think for yourselves. That's what I'm always going to encourage you to do. Me personally, I've made the decision that I'm not going to wear the mask. That's on me, okay? So I don't want you to think because I say that I don't wear a mask that you shouldn't wear a mask. If you want to wear a mask, knock yourself out. If you choose not to wear a mask, that is also 100% on you. Like my neighbor, Greg, as you guys all know who Greg is, he doesn't wear one either. So he says, I won't wear it. And I said, hey, man, that's your call. You can do whatever you want to do. Whenever I go out, my daughter will always wear a mask. But she has the conformist mentality. She doesn't like to make waves. Me, I kind of like making waves. It's in my nature. So, it's like I have a really good way of pissing people off. I have my whole life, and I probably will until the day they put me in the ground. So, but I just wanted to put that out there ahead of time. I don't want you to think that I'm telling you what you should or should not do. You need to make your own decisions, okay? So I just wanted to put that out there for you guys. Hey, Ed, we have a lockdown starting Thursday here on the 5th. Yes, we're going to talk about all of that, what's going on. So let's talk about this right now. Over in Europe, you have, let's do this first. France, Germany, and now this, I was corrected. I said the UK. Now the UK is made up of 4 different things. The British part, not Ireland, or the other commonwealths of the British Isles, just the Britain itself. They're doing a lockdown. So I wanted to make sure I said that correctly, because I was told, I got a message from somebody and they said, hey, wait a minute, Ireland, Scotland, and what's the other one? Oh my goodness. Wales. Okay. Yeah. England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. Yes. Okay. Thank you, Robert. So England is doing the lockdown. The rest of it is not. That's what I was told. If I am wrong on that, please correct me. Okay. So, but that's what I was told by somebody from the UK. So I wanted to make sure that I said it correctly. All right. So they're doing lockdowns, month-long lockdowns. Like one person just said, starting on the 5th. France and Australia are also in lockdown. Yes, I know I said France, Germany, and, like I said, part of the UK. Okay. Portugal and Portugal has imposed a partial lockdown, and you have Spain and Italy are tightening restrictions right now. Okay. So let's just do a comparison here. For every 10,000 Europeans, 127 cases have been reported, with 4 deaths. Now let's compare that to the United States. For every 10,000 people in the United States, it's 278 cases and 7 deaths. So just that comparison. But here's the disturbing number for Europe. The disturbing number for Europe is, in the first 9 months of the virus, they had 5 million cases. They just crossed over 10 million cases in Europe. Okay. It took them 5 weeks to have 5 million new cases. That's kind of tough. Okay. That's, that's a very scary thing in that concept of, if you look at that in a comparison, 9 months to hit 5 million and 5 weeks to hit the next 5 million. So obviously they're starting to relock things down over there, really impose restrictions and stuff like that. But again, I did the one thing, and I talked about it in my one stream about France was saying these are the restrictions, but it really wasn't that restrictive, realistically. Does that make any kind of sense? I mean, you could still go to work. The kids were still going to go to school. There was all kinds of things that were still going to happen, but you're not supposed to leave your house if you don't, have a job that is considered essential and all those type of things. Okay. So that I found very, very interesting. What are we at? 869 already in the chat, guys. We're at 252 on the thumbs up. If you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I would ask you to please do that to show support for the channel. And thank you ahead of time for doing that. I appreciate it. Again, it really does help with the algorithms as well. So the more interaction that we have, especially on the positive side, that really does help with the algorithm. So thank you for that reason as well. Also, I like to see a lot of thumbs up. So I'm going to be honest. That's one of the things. I think it's kind of cool to see a lot of interaction. So also, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. Okay. So we're going to talk about a lot of different things here. And so I got a lot of information that I wrote down. So I want to make sure that I get with everything. Now, Russia is the worst affected of the European countries with over 1.6 million people infected. Okay. Now, if you go over into Asia, now see, this is what I find interesting. Okay. So let me do this comparison really quickly. Okay. Yesterday, or I should say, I'm sorry, Friday in the United States, we had 99,321 new reported cases of the virus, right? 1 day record, new record. Now let's do a comparison. All of China, all right, think about this now. Because, I mean, this kind of tells you what complete and utter BS this is. All of China, altogether, has 85,997 cases, only 4,634 deaths, and supposedly 81,004 recovered. They reported the other day on the 27th, 42 new cases in one day, 42 new cases in one day. And that was the most that they've reported as far as an increase in one day in over 2 months. Now, I'm sorry, but I'm going to call complete and utter BS on China on this one, and for several reasons, and I'm going to break it down, okay? So when this virus first broke out in China, right, because that's where it originated, Wuhan province, most likely the laboratory there, either it escaped or it was released, one of the two. We will never probably know the true number as far as if it was released or if it was got out accidentally. But you had an unknown virus, okay, that hit mainland China. People were going around, it was spreading like crazy. All these people had no idea what to do because there was no protocol, because it was so new and it was very, very deadly. They were suppressing a lot of the information. One of the doctors that first reported it and went public with it, he ended up getting it and dying, if you remember correctly, okay? A lot of issues with that. So you have this unknown virus that breaks out in your country. Nobody knows what to do, but that country only has 85,000 total cases and only 4,000 total deaths. Now, in comparison, in the United States, we have 9,282,643 cases, all right? We've had 234,431 deaths in the United States, and supposedly 5.5 million people have recovered. Now let's look at India. India has had 8,229,322 cases with 122,000